Good evening, Fatima Rifna. Good
Yeah, good
evening.
evening. Good evening, ma'am. Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
That's what only you.
Yeah.
And so shall we wait for a few minutes?
Okay, ma'am. It's okay. We can wait.
Okay, now four students are there, so we'll start. Yesterday, so the developing countries issues is started. So we stopped in this slide, cost effectiveness. So cost effectiveness is um, common for even organizations, right? So if organization have to grow, cost effectiveness is very important, right? So they will look after the expenses, right? And how they can decrease the expenses, right? So then only they can cope up with the income, right? So the related to developing countries, right? Especially now we are thinking of our educational side. So the ability to achieve educational goals within the budget constraints, right? So the cost means it's related to budget. So every year, every country is reading their budgets, right? And from that budget only, the people will know, right, how much percentage they are going to get from the budget to each and every sector, right? So ability to achieve educational goals within the budget constraints. This include minimizing inefficiencies such as excessive spending on administrative cost while maintaining or improving the quality of education, right? So, uh, so when we are thinking of infrastructure, right? So lift, right? In the most new universities, right? So lift is for working from morning to evening, right? Even one person can go at once, right? So if it is a big lift, so it's going down and coming. Sometimes so if there are 7, 8 floors, right? So the electricity expenses and the AC expenses, right? So administrative expenses, right? Cleaning service people. So many things are there to maintain the quality of education, right? The place have to be this make sure that it's a learning environment, right? In the most of the place, right, there's no air, and it is not clean, right, and there's no good sanitary facilities, right? So that type of thing, even for lower cost, right, people are going there, right? So when we are thinking of these air flights, right? So diplomat the seats are there, but most of the people are going for economic classes, right? Cost effectiveness. Because if you seated in the economic or diplomat, you're going to the same place, right? So few hours. The enjoying or a little bit luxury is not going to. You also have to get down there, no, right? So your destination is go to that place, right? So economic class is also not so bad, right? So some people are thinking that if they are going in economical class, it is not prestige, right? So that type of things. The cost effectiveness means, right, needed things, right? Minimalization. That is the correct word for this. Minimum thing we need, right? Even for a house, it is essential, right? So a minimum needed things have to be there. Unwanted things are making uh, more expenses, right? So the effective classroom management and teaching techniques contribute to the efficient use of learning time, ensuring that students engage and learn without disruption, right? So if the children are going to be from 7:30 to 1:30 in the school, even after school, they will do some activities. So that premises have to be suitable for learning, right? Uh, so minimizing wastage, this refers to reducing the loss of students through dropout, absenteeism, or failure, which represent wasted resources that could have been invested in educating students who do not complete their studies. So here, dropouts. So in the state schools, uh, uh, they are not they're paying fees, right? Very small amount of fees they are paying. Even the books are free, right? And uniform free, right? And sometimes in the urban side, they will get the food also free of charge, right? So the minimum wastage, right? So reducing the loss of students dropouts. So think of a private school, right? If so they are accommodating 35 students in a class, right? So it's a fee levying class means they will collect money from 35, right? So according to that only they are planning everything, right? Each class students will pay this amount in the starting of the month, right? So that within with that money only they have to maintain all the expenses, right? So all of a sudden, if many students drop out, right? So there is a cut in their budget, right? So that's what they are highly interested to keep the students with them. So reducing absenteeism, dropouts, and failure, right? If the student fail one or twice, right, the child don't like to come to school. And the school principal try to keep the staff updated, right? And they are giving training and keeping up to date, because then only they can track the students, right? So time efficiency, um, first cost effectiveness and time efficiency. So time efficiency, how effectively educational time is used for learning activities, right? If we are starting the school by 7:30, can we start at 8, 8:30, 9, right? Then we are failed in that activity, right? So if the schools are going to start by 7:30 means, right? So they have to start at 7:30, right? The teachers have to come before that. Students also have to come before that. And if they are going to have the assembly, they are not going to have assembly every day. So one day they will allocate one period for that. Other than that, whole 8 period, children have timetable. According to the timetable, they have to work. Teachers have to have efficient teaching, right? So that's what they have to plan for their teaching and utilize that time well, right? So this includes minimizing time lost to delays, absenteeism, or unnecessary breaks, and ensuring that time in school is devoted to teaching and learning, right? So no need to give break in between the periods, because there is a break, right? After 4 periods, they have a break and then they are starting, right? So, so the minimizing time lost to delays, absenteeism, or unnecessary breaks, right? So in rural areas, the urban areas, of course, the popular schools have rules and regulation. Parents are um, they are pushing, right? So the children as well as the teachers have to be on time, right? Sometimes, right, in some areas, right, especially in the rural area, there's even the parents are not going to complain or anything, right? The teachers also will come late, right? And students also not interested. They're not coming to school regularly. And even the period of time, right? Some teachers are teaching, most of the teachers, right, they used to sit on the that chair, and they're asking to read something or do something, to write. They asked to write down something like, right? So I have that experience, right? If the principal have to draw a red line, right? So if the principal draw a red line that day, there will be a big fight with the principal. So the teachers are coming with different excuses, right? But anyway, we have to respect this principal's duty, right? That is its duty to draw line after 7:45, right? So the 15 minutes grace period as given, right? So the teachers can't fight against that. Once in a way, there will be some problem. So it can be rectified, right? So if every day the teachers are coming and they are coming late and they are not going to the class, right? They will have their morning breakfast and leisurely they will move to the class in the second period. So is it fair, right? So that type of things is not good for any teacher, right? And so in some working places, right? So not the schools, right? Some organization they will start at 8:30, right? 8 to 8:30, the staff have to be come. So they will come at 8:30, exactly 8:30. And they will have the meal, and they gossip, and they eat the morning meals, and they start the work at 10, right? So the people have to wait outside to get the service from them, right? That type of places also there, right? So I have seen and I have experienced that, right? So sometimes if we are going on time also, they don't like. So why you don't have any work at home, so you can come at this time. So like that, they will advise us because they don't like. The most of the working place, if a person is working well, that is also not much accepted, right? So I don't know why. Always they are discouraging. So most of the young teachers from College of Education, so while they join to the teaching, they work enthusiastically, right? And they will prepare teaching aid, and they like to work, right? But so within 1 or 2 years, right, their interest will decrease because there's no this um, this appreciation, right? And there's no cooperative work, right? So um, uh, after 10 years, they are becoming just teachers, right? So they are coming and reading something and going back home, right? So why it is happening? There's no monitoring, right? So improving internal efficiency means there's a person to monitor. Who is going to monitor? Principal, right? So improving internal efficiency in education can help ensure that limited resources are used effectively. Human also a resource, right? Teachers also resource, leading to better educational outcomes with necessarily increasing costs. Right, so the internal efficiency is depend on the leader. Right, how that leader, that is what the principals are having different type of training, management training. So they will learn how to manage the human resource, right? And some principal, right, will make everything in a perfect way, and also the school will grow up not only in the academic side, even the attitudinal side, right? So it's their hand, but the teachers also have to cooperate with the principal. So internal efficiency, right? So how internal efficiency is maintaining in different schools? So if you see, right, the popular school, good ranking school have that internal efficiency. They have appointing very experts to that schools as principals, and the teachers also uh, uh, because the parents are well educated, so they are expecting standard education, quality education, so that pressure is making the teachers to work, right? So internal efficiency. So this is especially important in developing countries where resources for education are so often scarce, right? So especially in Sri Lanka, we have disparities among schools, right? National schools, 1AB schools, type 2 schools, type 3 schools, and infrastructure facilities are scarce. And also teachers, right? So in some schools, there are no subjects teachers, only one or two teachers have to do all the subjects, right? So those things are there. So external efficiency. So this is very important. So external efficiency in the context of education refers to how well the education system or institution prepares students for the broader needs and demands of society, the economy, and the labor market, right? So, in many popular schools, we heard that the principals are principal because it's a popular school now, so the parents wants their children to be there. So they are ready to spend any amount of money. So they are asking money for painting and doing so many things, right? And ultimately, they will get money for painting for many parents, right? Uh, so, uh, so they will paint, right? They are not going to spend all the money for painting, and the money will go somewhere else, right? So those type of things was happened before, right? So if the principal is a genuine person, right? Service oriented person, right? So definitely that the amount of money will spend on the school facilities, right? So they can buy smart board and even so whatever the lacking side, maybe they can um, this they develop infrastructure, right? So that type of things depend on the service mind of the person. Yes. Yes. Right. So is there any principle here? No. No, a principal have to face a lot of issues, right? If the teachers are not cooperate with him, right? So when I'm working as a teacher, right, I saw so many issues the principal have to face. Even the parents are blaming, teachers are blaming, even students are blaming if something goes wrong, right? If there is a credit, right, so no one is appreciating the people, right? So always they are looking the bad side of the person, right? And even if he's thinking to maintain the discipline and drawing the red line, the teachers are against the principal, right? So they are not listening listen to the principal. If the principal requests something, the teachers will do against to that. So many things happen in the schools, right? So, um, so the teachers are going to become principal one day, right? They will write the exam and go to that place. So at that time only they feel, right? But this difficult job is this, right? So teaching means according to our subject we are teaching and doing this work, that's all. But as a principal, right, the management side, administration side, that's the duty is something different, right? So it measures how effectively education outcomes align with external expectation, including the skills and knowledge required by employers, social societal needs, and the overall development goals of a country. So, one example, right? So, in our village, there is a Tamil school. Uh, so, what happened was, right? Uh, if the students pass the scholarship, the students will go out, right, for the to find a good school, and there is a internal conflict was there, right? So the teacher and the principal conflict. So some good teachers left, right? They don't want to be there. So even the students, one by one, they are leaving and finding some another school. So later, the number of students are day by day decreasing, right? So later it's Madhya Mahavidyalaya, but later they had very limited number of students, right? Once that school was very popular. So that is what called internal efficiency, how the leader is working and how they are using the resources, right? How they are keeping uh, the teachers happy, right? So if the teachers are not happy, they are not going to work well. They can't, right? So everything have to be maintained balancedly, right? So what is the goal to us? And we have to try to achieve that. So key aspects of internal efficiency include, right? Uh, we are the I think 3 4 lessons we compare the education system. Here we are comparing the school system, how efficient schools are working, right? Why we are categorizing school, right? So key aspects of internal efficiency include relevance to labor market needs. So education should equip students with the skill, knowledge, and competencies that are in demand by labor market, job market. So if graduates cannot find relevant job or are underemployed, the education system is seen as externally inefficient. Right, so in Sri Lanka, to become a graduate, especially in the state university, is very difficult because it's very competitive, right? Even though they became graduate and if there are no job, right? So it's a very pathetic situation. So it shows that inefficiency of that uh, the courses, right? Uh, and employment rates of graduates, a key indicator of external efficiency is the ability of graduates to secure employment in fields related to their studies. So this is very important. Are the students of our classrooms, right? So our school students, uh, the seeking jobs, right? How many students are getting jobs related to their field, right? So without jobs, we can't live. So whatever jobs we are prepared to do, right? So even the so, so in India, right? So master students and higher educated students also running try show, right? And taxi drivers, right? So why? They need a job. They have to earn for their family, right? So if the society is knowledgeable, everyone is qualified. So there will be fight for jobs. So in that point, if you are a skillful person, if you have soft skills, if you can work with others, if you have creative ideas, right? Definitely the world of work will invite you, right? So that's what they are keeping interview and selecting. So employment rates of graduates. High employment rates for graduates suggest that the education system effectively prepares students for the workforce, right? So that is branding, right? I was worked in a school, right? My last school uh, is a boys' school and the popular school in Kandy, right? So in that boys' school, right, uh, no one is without any job. So the private sector, government sector, at least, or they'll be a entrepreneur, right? Or they are migrating to another country and doing very well, right? So in that school, right, they are thinking of traditions. They are keeping the traditions of the school, discipline, right? Lot of co-curricular activities, right? And also they are having a structure, right? So it's a the three language school, multilingual setup. So in that school, right, no bullying, right? So the elder, the grade 9 students have to look after the grade 8 students, right? In that way, the brotherhood is developing, right? So I am only, so in that way, brotherhood is developing. So they are very attached, right? Everyone is willing to help to the same school students. They are not jealousy, right? So if a person from that school is working in a place, right? Uh, he will make recruit the school students there, right? But they are not just the recruiting, right? So if the person who is joined first will work well, only they can recommend people, right? So they have good name. They are working very hard, right? And also helping others, right? And I have seen in that school the traditions, right? So very unity, right? Each class students. Uh, so uh, I think I have worked in the school before in 2008 or something. I left 2008. So at that time, right, the O-level students means now they are doing job, and so many have got married, right? So they invited me for wedding also. But if I go to the wedding, I can see that class students, all of the classmates are there, and just not joking and waiting. They are doing several work. They are shared. They are serving, cleaning, and and so they are welcoming, right? And they are taking the people to the this and for the lunch room, right? So directing, and they are working for that particular student, right? So that type of attachment was there, right? So one student can go without any hesitation to be with the student. Definitely that the other student will help, right? So that creation, that means the school create that type of this love, the school, but it's like country's patriotism. They love that school, right? They will do anything for that school, right? So, and that school people, everyone is getting job means they have the soft skill, right? It is responsible for school. So, school is giving that opportunity to make their soft skills. That means teamwork and helping each other and create. The school is allowing them to do creative work, right? So that background is there. Learning environment is there. Not only the students, teachers also the same, right? All are always they are thinking of the school standard results and discipline, right? The teachers also maintaining discipline. So in that way, they create that environment, right? So the graduate also, right? So employment rates of graduate not only depend on the academic side, right? They have to develop their personality side also, right? So now you would have understood why the parents wants their children to be in the popular schools, because they are in that school, not only the academic side is developing, personal side also developed, right? They have good friends and a lot of activities, sports, right? So the eight intelligence, right, what they have can use in that place, right? So the employment rates, right? So even though they are not graduates, those that school children are working or they are entrepreneurs, right? So the field related to their study, high employment rates of graduates suggest that the education system effectively prepares students for the workforce. So some universities also have that name, right? This student is from this university. So they have that link, right? So even in universities, there are disparities, right? The highest Z-score people can go to this university, right? This up to this rank, they are taking to another university. In that setup is there. An alignment with societal needs, external efficiency also consider whether the education system meets the broadest social and cultural needs of the community, such as promoting civil engagement, critical thinking, and responsible citizenship. So, the school's aim is to make responsible citizens for the country, right? Not only the academic side, right? So, then they have to develop the personality side, right? So, cultural needs of the community, promoting civic engagement, critical thinking, and responsible citizenship, right? So if they are promoting these type of things only, they can maintain the internal and external efficiency. Internal efficiency means what we are gaining inside the school. External efficiency means how those children are looking by the other aspects, especially in the job, this market, right? If a job market is willing to take that school students, that means that school have external efficiency also, right? So education systems need to be flexible and capable of adapting to rapid technological advancement and economic shift. So this technological advancement, creative thinking, critical thinking, now only we are learning these type of things, but the developed countries already learned and they are doing lot of things. They are inventing lot of things, right? So just think of the phones, right? So apps, right? Is anyone in Sri Lanka this create any this app or any new thing? So WhatsApp. So how much facility, a big facility is that? Free of charge, right? So we can send messages, we can passing notes, right? And discussing. So the teams, the links, right? LMS. So before 50, 60 years, we don't have this type of facilities. So people, so the students who are learning in the school, right, they are moved to the society, move to the organization, and they are finding new things, right? Day by day, they are giving services. They are thinking of people's need. According to that, they are finding so many things, right? So education system need to be flexible and capable of adapting to rapid technological advancement and economic shifts. So students must be equipped with skills that are not only relevant today, but will remain valuable in the future, right? For example, right? So before uh, 10 to 12 years back, right? So our multinational companies in Sri Lanka conduct an exam, right? So I think 1,500 to 2,000 candidates sit for the examination, right? So from that examination, so they made a list, right, according to the marks, and they select 300 students, right, from that, and they had 3 months program for them. So within that 3 months, right, so that means that 5 multicultural companies, they are going to select people for them, best people for them, right? So for 3 months, they are giving lot of tasks for students, right? So from that, whoever doing a creative thing in a new novel way, right? So they uh, giving marks for that, and at the end, right, only 15 people they are going to select for their 15 to 30, right? They will keep that 15 uh, for this reserve, right? So the 5 people they are going to um, select, right? So 25 they will select first, right? And they will keep another 25 for the reserves, right? If these 25 are not willing to come or not join, they will grab from the reserve side, right? So to see, right, the 15 they select, right, are not Sri Lankan graduates. All are from foreign country graduates. Sri Lanka students, but they educated in, they got the degree in some country, some other countries. So, so what? So we have to think, right? That will give a message to us, right? The expected things of the labor market was not in our Sri Lankan degree, right? So that type of innovations and creative things, attracting research based, right? Those things are, they are in other countries, right? They are making students for working force, right? So then even they conducted again the program, right? So at that time also most of the foreign graduates only got that place. So they thought of localized. So they forcibly they thought, no, we have to give chances to the Sri Lankan students also, right? So that was the, so anyway, right? Why I'm giving this message, so this type of comparative education only will give us more insight. What type of degree we have to prepare? What type of the curriculum will be suited for the labor market, right? So actually we are not learning for knowledge, no, right? Uh, so we are fighting for the good results, right? Because we have to do a job, right? So if a person, if a student got a high GP and going to medical faculty means job is assured, right? Veterinary means job is assured. Dental means job is assured. But others, veterinary job is assured. Other than that, maybe bio, graduate biological science, physical science,
Teaching
or
college also, madam.
yeah,
Teaching college, teaching
yeah,
job
teaching
is
college.
issued.
Yes, yes, right, you are correct. So, so why that concept came? Teacher training, teacher colleges. Now, earlier teacher training colleges, right? So, in uh, right in 1960s, at that time, so they have to write an examination and go to the training college, right? It's like a pre-service training. After that, training was given to the in-service teachers, no, right? So later they started the College of Education, because without, if a student is um, entering the classroom, right? So it's very difficult to control, and the efficient teaching will not be taken place, right? So that will damage the students' um, identity, right? Uh, so every schools are same. No one is going to fight. No need to pressure the students of grade 5 up to grade 5. We are not allowing them to play, right? Every time we are asking them to learn and sending for seminars, sending for tuitions, right? So why we are struggling to get a good school, right? So why good school? Good school means the children will get good personality, right? So students must be equipped with skills that are not only relevant today, but will remain valuable in the future. So we have to think of our students' future. As parents also thinking, as teachers, we also have to think. Lifelong learning and skills development. External efficiency includes fostering a culture of lifelong learning and providing opportunities for continuous skills development. So in y'all also came to the continuous education, right? So that means if we can, so it's your internal motivation, right? Um, so y'all are thinking, no, we have to be a graduate, right? Then because of that only y'all are doing this program, right? So in the community, we also must have a prestige. In the school, you have prestige if you are a graduate. Even the salary is more, right? So those are the external motivation also there. But anyway, you all have internal motivation also, right? So that's what external efficiency, internal efficiency. not only the organization, even for the people, right? So how, so when I did my master's, right? So at that time, less number of teachers at masters. I don't have any kind of intention of fight for the salary or anything. It's my passion. I love to learn, right? So I applied, and without much difficulties with the children, right? I learned. The people with me, right? They discourage. Why you are learning, taking this much of effort? There's no increment for masters in teaching field. So why you're suffering like this, right? And that way they told me, right? But I told, no, I'm not learning for the this promotions or anything. I wanted to learn. I like to learn. So I wanted to do the second degree. That's what I'm doing, right? So if you're studying, right, if you're having more qualification, don't think that it is in vain. In some way, that will help you, right? Uh, so this ensures that individuals can adapt to changing job markets and technologies throughout their careers. Social and economic, actually, the people who are selecting the correct career, right, will be shining forever, right? So think of the very rich people, they are not much educated, but they are in a higher position. They are hiring so many educated people to their organization. That means they select the correct career according to their talent and potential, right? So that is what guiding, right? Teachers also can guide, right? So I worked in a very rural, because at that time we as teachers we have to work in this difficult area. That is a must, right? So I went to work in a very small school, uh, very poor children, right? uh, so mostly that it's a Christian environment. uh, they are little bit good in English anyway, right? But they are not interested in any other subjects, right? But they can work very hard, right? And some children, they're not like the rich students, right? So these the students are very um, uh, lovable, right? So they love the teachers, right? So we can see how they are truly laughing at us, right? So they are expecting us to come and teach, right? So in that school, right? Most of the students are very weak in maths, right? The basic things are not properly done. And even I'm a basically science teacher. So I took the responsible for science, and my friend, maths teacher, also took responsible for maths. And the Tamil teacher, the language teacher, also took the responsible. We get together, and one group of students we select from grade 4, right? And continuously we did extra classes, that and these things, and they uh, in O level, right? So there's no A level in that school. So they got good results, right? So many students went to the town school to do commerce, to do science, right? And arts. So many students right now, they are teachers, some graduate teachers, and even after that, um, they did their masters, right? So that type of, then even that education side is also okay. A few students, they are not interested in education, but they can work hard, right? So I'm a basically agriculture person, right? Um, so I did agriculture, science both in the school. So I found some students are very good in um, this planning and planting and the nursery beds, right? So they are loving to do things in a very perfect way, right? And they used to come at 6 to watering the plants, students, right? Then I suggest three students, right? One is good in food. This he used to decorate when we are having small parties and all. So I advise him to join to the hotel school, right? So now he's a head chef in that hotel, right? And one another student, he was so good in nursery beds and the shapes and things. So I advise him to do at that time only the tile fitting introduced. So I advise him to join with somebody and do this type of work. So you will have a good future. And now he's owning cars and bungalow, right? And the most of the hotels are hiring him for tile working, right? So as teachers, right? So we have to find the internal efficiency of a student, but that student can, right? So those students will not be past the O level or anything, right? I think they got three passes or something. That much of knowledge they have, but they have skill, right? Skillful people. So those things are very important for teachers. So I'm very happy to see those students because they are very poor children and now they are doing very well in their life, right? So that type of things, everyone cannot be do academic side, right? And now technologically, right? So the mechanic side, right? If they're interested in mechanic side, they can do, right? So those skills jobs are uh, more wanted jobs in foreign countries, and they are paying more, right? So social and economic mobility from the education only, this mobility can happen, right? So I gave two examples. They are in a very low family income, and now um, they have moved to higher state. That is the mobility because of the education, but the skill they used, right? So social economic mobility. So the ability of education to provide upward social and economic mobility is an important aspect of external efficiency. Education system that allow individuals from disadvantaged background to improve their social and economical status contribute positively to external efficiency. Right. So uh, in India, there's a race called Dalit, right? So that Dalit means they are thinking that they have categorized that Dalit is a lower caste, right? So the high caste people don't allow them to educate themselves, and also they're not giving any jobs, right? So now, of course, the government decide, no, they also have the same right of education like others. So they can study, they can do government jobs, right? So they are giving a percentage for them for jobs, education, and everything, campus and everything, right? So, those tradition things right now, I think it's reducing. They are not uh, these whatever it is the parents are seeking in the same caste, for the wedding and all, right? But I think in the future, that is also not going to happen, right? So the migrating people, they are getting married to even foreign people, right? Another country people. So they are not seeking any race or language or anything, right? So contribution to national development, right? So without education, there's no development. Here, contribution to national development only possible with education, right? So education system are externally efficient when they contribute to the overall development goals of a country, including economic growth, poverty reduction, and sustainable development. So this is measured by how well educated individuals contribute to society through productivity, right? So the productive citizens. So the schools have to provide from the productive citizen to the society. So this measured, right, how well educated individuals contribute to the society through productivity, innovation, and civic participation, right? So civic participation means how we are uh, searching for a good person to vote, how much we know them, right? So if we are selecting a good service oriented, genuine person for a as a political leader, so the people will be getting some service from him, right? So nowadays, the pension, right? So now for the parliamentarian, uh, in the future, they are not going to give any pension, right? So, most of the people, right, they are so it's a debating, right, whether it is good or bad. But anyway, in the future, there's no pension, right? If any other government comes and making changes, it's so other than that, uh, within so the parliamentarian means only for 5 years they are working and they are getting a huge pension benefits, right? But the normal people working for 20, 25 years, 30, 35 years, they are getting a small amount of pension, right? So, uh, so why they are giving so much facility for the political people? They have to serve for the nation, serve for the people. But the question is whether they are doing that, right? Behind that, are we selecting a proper people, right? So that is what here contribution to national development, right? So hereafter, the people who are coming to politics, there's no pension, no much facilities, no. So if a person is willing to serve the nation, only can come as a political leader, right? So there are myths, right, and expectation, right? If they are involving in politics, they can earn a lot, right? But I think in the future, it won't be, it's not going to happen because they can't do corruptions, and there are a lot of issues, even no pension also for them, right? So in summary, external efficiency is about ensuring that educational system produce graduates who are well prepared for the demands of the real world, contributing to economic growth, social development, and individual well-being. Another thing, to prepare a productive citizen for society, the education must be uh, the basic, right? So what that type of productive things are we giving through education, right? So we are comparing which country is having productive people. So what they have done through education. So from that we are grabbing and we can use in our education system also. Right? What are the jobs they have created? Can't we create that type of job? That's what we are learning this subject, right? So you have to understand the importance of this subject. So through this comparative education, you can do a lot of contribution to your national development. So an individual well-being, it highlights the link between educational outcomes and external social expectation. Get smarter responses, upload files and images, and more. So now only we are going to compare the relationship between education and economic development. In developing countries, because we are learning of developing countries, right? So developing countries is highly interconnected, education and economic development, with education acting as both a driver and a key enabler of economic progress. Below are several important aspects of how education influences economic development in this context. Human development. So education enhances human capital. So capital means just when we heard this word, we are thinking of Colombo is the Sri Lanka's capital. That is not the capital here we are speaking. Educational enhances human capital, right? By providing individuals with the skills, knowledge, and competencies needed for the labor market. That is the capital we are talking about, right? So skill, knowledge, competencies needed for the labor market, right? So as a productive student, a student have to satisfy the labor market needs, right? So a more educated workforce tends to be more productive, innovative, and adaptable to changes in the economy. And then skilled labor is essential for industries like technology, healthcare, and manufacturing, which can lead to economic growth. Educated individuals are also more likely to start business, contributing to job creation and innovation. And so when we are learning the Japan education, right, they are giving more priority for business side, right? So for each business, they are having a degree, right? So they are learning something and coming to the business, right? So education enhances human capital. And the second point is skilled labor is essential for industries like technology, healthcare, manufacturing, which can lead to economic growth. Educated individuals are also more likely to start business, contributing to job creation and innovation. So skill migration, right? So skillful people are invited by any country, right? They are paying more, right? Second one, improved productivity. Read this and see whether you can answer. So we are talking about productivity. No, we have to prepared productive students for community. So what is how we can improve productivity, right? So in other countries, what they are meaning, what do they are meaning about productivity, right? So as a population becomes more educated, overall labor productivity increases, right? So if we know something, we have trained. So think of education, why we are seeking for trained teachers, right? So why we are seeking, the graduates have to do postgraduate diploma,
to get
and why you are
quality of
doing, yeah, yes, yes, Dilka,
uh,
Disna.
to get quality of those things. At least labor get educate from other one side
Hmm.
in his or her side, they can
Hmm.
do well.
Yes, so after training, actually we can do better teaching than earlier, right? After we learn this psychology, philosophy, and classroom teaching skills, presentation techniques, our skills are developing. That's a training, right? So training means they are teaching us how to teach, right? Already we know, we have knowledge, right? Uh, so I think everyone will realize after training, you feel easy to teach, easy to handle students, right? So yeah, so here improve productivity, right? To do something better. If we don't know anything, right, even when we are preparing something, maybe in cooking, right, starting point, so we can make so many mistakes. We have to throw. Nobody can't eat, waste it, right? So if we have good training in cooking, that won't happen, no, right? So then from the beginning itself, we can prepare good food and we can attract good, we can give good services for people, right? So the people will like our cooking, and they definitely they will come as our customers, right? So the productivity is whatever we do, right? If we know to do in a better way, so
And
the
we should have training. We should have training as professions.
yes, right. So teaching, they are giving training. Even other other graduates, like if the management students are going for internal training, they are sending for a company to train themselves, right, in their field. So that is also increasing productivity, right? So educated workers can perform tasks more efficiently, use technology more effectively, and improve the quality of goods and services, right? So now without technology, you can't do anything, because wherever you go, I think not in the teaching field, other fields, right? They are giving a laptop, and from the day they recruit to the job, they have to keep every information with him inside the laptop. So they know how to save, and they actually, that means anyone have to uh, work, right, with information technology, right? So that field is earlier, that field had high demand. Now most of the graduates are emerged, right? They like to go to even now it's a trending in Sri Lanka, the technology field, right? They introduced after that, so many children have applied for that, and now I think the first group of students are in the campus, right? So improved productivity and higher literacy rates and vocational skills also enable workers to specialize in higher value industries, leading to economic diversification and development. Right, so the efficiency, uh, literacy rates, right, and vocational skills. Uh, in my last school, right, so in that school, I told you all about the tradition and things, right? So they used to conduct career guidance program every year for O-level, A-level students with parents, right? The students with parents. So they are inviting the employers and specialists from all over the country, right? Those all students are helping for that, right? Old Boy Association is conducting that. So most of the students are in a good positions in most of the companies. So they are coming and they are bringing good resources, right? And they are hiring from universities and all the marketing side. And they, from the morning to evening, they have sessions, right? For the parents and the students, right? Everyone is talking about how they can select a career, right? So according to the skill, according to the interest, right? If the student, if interest in some area, right, that is the best way to select a career. And
Madam,
one,
and also
yeah, yeah, Krishna.
also I think, madam, there are so many vocational institutions in our country, no?
Yeah.
Technical college, uh, hotel schools,
Mm,
NITA, and
mm.
SLIAT. Likewise, we have lot of vocational institutions in our country.
Even in Ratmalana, right? So
Yes.
there is a what that um, the, this I can't remember that name, right? I took our BEd students to that place. So they are this textiles, right? Not only the textiles, right? They are having this dyeing, right? And spinning, so many things there, right? Mm, and another side of it, in Sri Lanka, there are a lot of gems, right? So in that side, there are a lot of jobs available. Uh, so uh, our parents, have you experience that our parents are telling the students or telling their children, you can do this type of studies, you better study regarding gems or tea, right? That is our the productive thing, right? Rubber. Uh, so even the parents are not willing their children to learn agriculture, right? So our the barrier in Sri Lanka is attitude. Attitude. First of all, we have to change the attitude. Yeah, so the parents are thinking their children have to be doctors, engineers, accountants, lawyers, and dentist, veterinary. They know that much of things, right? So this that school workshop,
Parents
right?
have parents have limited aims and targets, madam.
Yeah, because actually they also don't have much explorations. They don't know about whatever the resources we are having in Sri Lanka, right? So after went to
Yes.
this career guidance program, they invited teachers also, right? At that time, I'm a teacher there. So we went for the seminar, right? Then only actually it's an eye opener for us, right? How much jobs are available, right? And how we can earn, right? Why we are always thinking of academic side. We are pressing our students to be a doctor, engineer, teacher, even not teacher, right? The most prestigious academic side, right? So one Moratuwa University professor, right? He explained and he told, right? He requests parents, right? Parents also they are no, and he explained, right? It's a nice lecture. He explained what are the jobs available, academic side, non-academic side, and how much they are earning, right? Per day. And he to see, right? So non-academic side only they are earning more than academic side. Academic side is limited. They can't go for another job, no, but skilled people can change their job, right? So nowadays, that channeling doctors,
They
they
can
are
do
having,
multiple jobs, I
yeah,
guess.
multiple,
Non-academic
yes.
people can.
So the doctor specialist means the doctor have to do that particular thing only, no, right?
Yes.
But few doctors, specialists are earning, right? They are doing channeling in so many places. So per day they are earning lakhs in lakhs, right? So that engineer told, right? He's an engineer, but he's doing some extra work, right? Engineer and professor, right? And he is interested in models, preparing models. So he took one person from a village, right? He's very creative, but he's not educated, creative. So he is the person who is doing the model for the professor. So once one professor from Japan, right? visited this university and stay with that professor. So when he came to the house, he saw the models. So he requested to give at least for 1 year that person uh, for him, right? And then the professor agreed, right? So that person went to Japan with that professor, right? So after 1 year, he didn't come, right? And another year, after 2 years, he came to meet the professor, it seems. So the professor told that person, now he's looking very posh, dressed well. So he told the prophet, he requests that that person who is doing model. Can you right now almost you came to Sri Lanka, no? So can you come and work with me again, right? So he told it seems, right? So he earned, right, lot of money in Japan, and he's going to start his own entrepreneur in this organization, right? And the professor is an educated person, so he wished him, and he told, right, I will drop you. Uh, so to see, right? So professor is having a simple car, it seems. That person has come in a Lamborghini, right? So that professor told, right, don't think that any job is lower than any other jobs, right? If you are interested, if you have skills, and if you can do it in a proper way, if you are committed, definitely you can uh, uh, do wonders with your skills, right? So he compared that he came as a laborer, right? And now he's become an entrepreneur because of his skills, right? If he is in Sri Lanka, he can't make this amount of money, right? So that's what he told. Uh, Please let your children, according to their wish, their interest, their potential, as parents, please find that, right? And think of your country, your resources, right? According to that, what you can do to your country, that is also important, right? So that type of messages, like the career guidance, now I think they are going to introduce career guidance in school. They have prepared 2 books also. So that type of programs are essential because to aware the parents as well, right? So even he got eye opener, right? We never think in that way, right? Then so many people, right, from companies, they told this is what we have as jobs, but what is the qualification you need, right? How you can go up in that job, what is the salary we are going to, right? Everything is transparent there, right? So parents can compare, right? What will be the suitable job for our student, the children, and so definitely they will allow them to select, right? So that type of things can be. So comparing is um, with not if we are having, right, doctors, engineers, mean they are having their job, but the others, right? So think of the people who are not qualified for A level, and those who are dropping from uh, A level, right, not entering the university. There are good students, no, right? Few students are joining to the private universities. Other than that, just they are going for normal jobs, right? So now NVQ level is started. Skillful people can join without any qualification. So they can do, they started as 13-year education, right? So that it's similar to Japan system, right? And attraction of investment, right? So why we are giving this uh, asking, even the schools are the banks coming to the school and they're starting this the saving accounts for small children, right? Some banks, right, they are giving, they are starting from the beginning itself. If the child is born, they are requesting to start the saving. And we are also introducing till for our children. We are asking them to save money, right? So that is the basic of attraction of investment, right? Due to in the DIPA time, right? Few children brought the till and gave the money, right? So So people are suffering and they don't have anything. They lost every belongings, right? At that time, see the attitude of these children, right? So investment in education attracts both domestic and foreign investment. So if you are educated, you can go anywhere and work, right? That is the investment. Don't think that it is waste, right? So why people are spending so much money on the students and their children? It's an investment. They can earn from that investment, right? Investors tend to be more interested in regions where a skilled workforce is available, as it reduces the cost of training and increases the likelihood of successful business operations. So investment in education, investment in business, right? To do a business, you have to have a good knowledge in business, right? Normally, the family is going hand in hand. No? Father is a business person, and then he changed the business to the son, or keep a partner of that business. So in that way, it's going on to their family, right? But in under commerce, they are uh, awarding degrees now in business management, right? So they can use that knowledge to do their business. So that is the degree means it's an investment, right? It's like a fixed deposit, right? By using that, you can apply for a job and earn money. And educated population also tend to have better infrastructure, higher level of technology, and more stable political environments, all of which are conducive to attracting investment. Economic equality and social mobility. Equality, mobility. Equality means you have to have same, if you are a Sri Lankan citizen, every Sri Lankan citizen have to have same thing, right? You can stay anywhere, right? You can build a house anywhere, you can buy land anywhere, right? And you can do jobs. Anyway, as uh, a country citizen, we have to pay tax, right? Because tax is used for people again, right? Uh, so the mobility, if you educate, if you get a good job, your life standard will be up, right? So by offering equal access to education, countries can reduce poverty and income inequality, which fosters a more balanced and sustainable economy. Societies with high educational attainment tend to experience lower rates of unemployment and poverty. Right, so all over the country, if you visit somewhere, right, east and north, I think there are people, even young people working in the field, right? But in other places like, right, Kandy, and so the old people, right, they are the people who are working in the field, right? Ladies too. So those who are staying at home, not younger, so yeah, the small children, of course, have to go to school now, right? They are sending school. So the elder people only working in the field. So every year, uh, in most of the universities, the agriculture graduates are coming out. What they are doing, right? Uh, so in foreign countries, farmers are the most richest people, right? So that type of ideas, right, we need, right, through education. So education provide avenue of social mobility and standard, right, by offering equal access to education. So now I think in Sri Lanka, of course, it's a compulsory education up to grade 9, age 14. And after that, they have to decide on their own whether they are going to continue this education or they are going to job, right? So due to poverty only, people are stopping their education. Other than that, they will continue. Now STEM education also introducing. STEM means science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So the future is for these type of areas, right? So education fosters creativity and innovation, which are essential for technological environment. A well-educated population is more likely to engage in research development and the adaptation of new technologies. So now you are doing bachelor's, right? To do master's, you have to do a research. If it is a master degree, 6 months, they will give to do a research. If you do a SLQ of 10 masters, no need to do MPhil, you can directly do PhD. So PhD, only research. The higher order thinking, right? The higher top degrees, PhD with research. So it shows research development is important for a university and also to the country. Right? So if they are doing research and finding or solving our own problem, right? So in some universities, right, so the professors are doing continuously research to find something good in agriculture, seeds, right, and variety of paddy seeds, which will give more yield, right, even in the fruits, right. So now we can see a lot of new type of mangoes. So those things invented by people, right? The developing countries, education in fields like science, technology, engineering, and mathematics is particularly crucial for leapfrogging traditional stages of industrialization and moving directly to more advanced sectors such as digital industries. So education is the basic, and better governance and institutional development. So education can promote better governance and political stability. Earlier, right, in the parliament, we can see most of the people with less education qualification. But now I think they have good educational background in the parliament also, so they can think in a way, right? Uh, a more educated populace is more likely engage in democratic process and hold government institution accountable. As a result, education contributes to building strong institutions that foster an environment conducive to sustainable economic development. So in foreign countries also, presidents, the prime minister means they are well educated, right? So I think American president is the most powerful president in the world, right? To be powerful, the person have to have good educational background, right? Health and productivity. Educated population generally experience better health outcomes as education often leads to improved knowledge about health, hygiene, and nutrition. So without health, right, how can we be a productive person? A sick person can't do anything, even can't learn and do work, right? So health and productivity is correlated. Uh, Healthier individuals are more productive and contribute positively to the economy. And they will do medical checkups, right? So even teachers have to do the medical, right? So they are checking whether you are capable to do the work. In developing countries, education can also help reduce the burden of diseases such as malaria and HIV/AIDS, which can otherwise impede economic progress by affecting the workforce. So the eighth one is diversification of the economy. So the diversification of the economy means some countries are very rich and some countries are very poor because the rich countries have uh, good these minerals, gold, petroleum, right? So, so from that they can earn a lot of money, right? Education enabling countries to move away from reliance on the few primary sectors such as agriculture or mining, and instead build competitive industries like manufacturing, services, and technology. So you all would have noticed, right? So when we born, right, the gold price is what, and now what is the gold price, right? So the gold mines are there in so many countries, so they are becoming rich, right? So the more educated workforce is better equipped to adapt to new industries and global market trends, which supports economic resilience and growth. Reduction of brain drain. So this is happening in Sri Lanka. Most well-educated doctors are leaving the country. Even the professors are leaving. Those who are going to do PhD, they are not coming back, right? So while many developing countries face changes of brain drain, the emigration of highly educated individuals seeking better opportunities abroad, right? So those who are here, right, the government is educating them free of charge, right? Even to send the PhD, how much money the government is spending, right? But they are not coming back. So actually the patriotism attitude have to develop in people in school, right? So what we are doing is for the Independence Day, we are hosting a flag. That's all. Right. So are we discussing anything with our children? Right. It's like a duty. That's all. Right. So when local education system provide high quality opportunities, people are more likely to remain in their home countries and contribute to economic development, right? So even in our campus, right, most of the students wants to migrate. They are giving letters every day, reference, right? So they are in the university, they are sending us to refer, right? So we are sending referring letters and we are issuing reference. They because they are applying for masters and going, and the ultimate goal is to settle there, right? So in some countries, if wife is doing masters, they will allow husband to come with and stay, even the children. So in some country they are offering job also for the husband. So they are going as a family, especially in Finland also they are doing the same. Canada also doing the same. But now I think a little bit difficult. Those countries also not much interested in taking foreign people. So brain drain is one of the reason, uh, that is a reduction of economy. Challenges in developing countries, right? Summary. Despite the strong link between education and economic development, developing countries face several challenges that hinder the full realization of these benefits. Uh, Limited access to quality education, especially in rural and impoverished areas. Right, so we are experiencing that. Underfunding of education system leading to overcrowded classrooms, poorly trained teachers, and inadequate learning materials. So education system also lacking. Gender equality, inequality, and cultural norms that limit girls' access to education. This is developing countries, not only in Sri Lanka. So brain drain, where educated individuals migrate to developed countries in search for better opportunities, reducing the local talent pool. So the conclusion is education plays a pivotal role in driving economic development in developing countries by improving human capital. That means education improve human capital, boosting productivity, fostering innovation, and contributing to social mobility, right? However, for these benefits to be fully realized, governments must invest in education systems, address systematic barriers, and ensure that education is accessible, relevant, and of high quality for all members of society. When education systems are strengthened, they serve as a powerful engine for sustainable economic growth and development. So Nelson Mandela also told the same thing. Education is a weapon to change the world. So, up to now, the earlier part, we learn about the issues and problems facing by developing countries, right? And what are the key factors, internal efficiency and the external efficiency with education, right? And how developing countries are moving on with that, right? So now we are turned to explain why in low-income economies, it has become difficult to provide primary education to all who are entitled to do it. So even we are thinking, right, every child is going to school in Sri Lanka and we have 93% literacy rate. Right? So 7% people are not going now. So what though that 7% students are going to do, even without going to school, no primary education, right? That's what the UNESCO, right, is the millennium goals, right? They provided millennium goals. Basic thing is, right, every country have to provide primary education for all, right? So when we compare to other countries, right, our income is very low, right? Even compare the teacher's salary, right? Finland is giving a huge salary like a doctor, right? So doctor salary and the teacher salary are same. They're treating like the same status. But the a doctor can do private practices, right? So teacher, they are not going to do any tuition there. There's no tuition culture, right? And in low income economies, several factors make it difficult to provide primary education, right? So we must know the challenges, why it is not given. Limited financial resources. So especially in Sri Lanka also, the education funding is compared to other countries low, right? So within that, how we can improve the infrastructure, right? Governments in low-income economies often face budget constraints and may prioritize other urgent needs such as healthcare, infrastructure, and security. As a result, funding for education, especially primary education, may not be adequate to ensure universal access. So funding is less. And low public investment. In many low-income countries, there is a lack of sufficient investment in education, both in terms of infrastructure and human resources, especially teachers' salary and training. So if the allocation for education is low, right, the university entrance, right, they can increase the number of universities, right? We have only 20, right? So you saw how many universities are there in Japan and India, right? So inadequate infrastructure, lack of schools. So the population is increasing, but schools are still 10,000, right? In rural or remote areas, school may be too few and far between, making it difficult for children to attend regularly. And you'd have heard, right? Few schools have only below 75 students, right? So that is also another cost. It is not cost effectiveness because even though 75 students, you have to allocate 10 teachers because the 10 subjects are there. And you need a principal, right? And non-academic staffs, right? So the government have to spend a lot of money on only those 75 students. Even though 750 students there, the same number of teachers and principal will be there, right? So I think they are going to amalgamate that type of school. Poor quality of schools, even where school exists, they may suffer from overcrowded classrooms, lack of teaching materials, and uh, dilapidated facilities, leading to a substandard education that may discourage attendance. So if the quality of school is poor, the parents don't want to send these children, and children also don't like to come, right? So sometimes uh, the next side, right? Poor facility, but lot of children, right? So that is also overcrowded and only one or two teachers are available. Those things also there. And the third one, teacher shortages and low quality of education. So recently, the Prime Minister announced that 23,000 teachers are going to be recruited, right? And we have to think, right, the pension is there, right? So by 60, a group of teachers are leaving, right? So the new teachers have to be recruited to fulfill that gap, right? So now 23,000 teachers are going to appoint. So insufficient pay and low pay for teachers. Teachers in low income economies are often underpaid and lack proper training. This results in a lack quality education as poorly trained teachers may struggle to provide effective learning experience for students, right? Especially for primary, they need trained teachers. Otherwise, without any training, it's very difficult to control the students, right? So teacher absenteeism. In some low-income regions, teachers may not consistently show up for work due to low wages, inadequate resources, or other socio-economic factors, further disrupting children's education. So teachers, actually, they are going to work less than 210 days, right? And they have 41 days leave, right? So, so leave means everyone is thinking we have to take that leave because it is our privilege. It's our right, right? We have to take that 41 days. But it's a privilege. If you are sick, you have to stay at home. So you can take a leave, sick leave, right? So 3 types of leaves are there. So, so the teachers have to think if they are absent, then not only their class is affecting, the parallel class is also affecting. Children will lose their attentiveness, shouting and disturb the other classes. Sometimes they might fight inside the class, right? And misbehaviors. So many things can happen. Poverty and socio-economic barriers. Direct and indirect cost. While primary education is often free, families may still face hidden costs like uniform, transportation, and materials, which are unaffordable for many low-income households. So children from these families may miss out on education to help with work at home or to contribute financially. Child labor was there because of that. So mostly the estate children, the parents are sending them for labor work in Colombo City. So the children are working in homes, right there. So so they are losing the education. And after that, so the government thought to impose a law, right? Below 14 years, people cannot work as child laborer, right? So now it is reduced. Otherwise, small children from a state, they work in each and every home, right? They are sometimes they are look after the children and cleaning the house, cleaning the garden, right? So child labor in some low economic, low income economies, children may be forced to work to support their families, preventing them from attending school. This is especially common in agricultural and informal sectors. And even now, right, the coastal area people, the parents, right, sometimes they are not sending the children to school because those students are working as guides to foreigners. So they are getting a big sum of money. And it is causing for this child abuse also at the same time. Right. And if the paddy field, the harvesting time, most of the children are not coming because they are helping the family, right? That type of things also are happening. So they are losing the education. Cultural and social barriers, gender equality. In many low-income countries, cultural norms may prioritize boys' education over girls' education. So this leads to lower enrollment and high drop rates for girls, preventing them from completing primary education. So we are learning about primary education, how we can enhance the primary education, right? These are the reason, so they are losing the education. Discrimination and exclusion. Children with disabilities, children from marginalized ethnic groups, or those in conflict zones may face social exclusion, making it difficult for them to access education. Right. So political instability and conflict. Right. So now time is over, right? And we have right. So we can continue this in the next class, right? So now I think you have learned, right? Low income countries, what are the problems they have, right? Developing country, but there are issues, right? So we are comparing, right? But education is important. Everyone's right is education. But to see marginalized children, poor children, if the parents don't have any income, so they can't continue the education. So if that happens continuously, what will happen? The national development also will go down, right? Okay, so any questions? So another, now we are in the thirty-fourth slide, right? Another 20 is there, so we can't complete this, right? Thank you very much, right, for participation. But I don't know why few people are coming to the lectures, right? So when we are doing lecture in the campus, right, we have more than 30, 25 students, right? Right. Anyway, thank you very much. So good night, students. So the few students, all are, I think these 8 students are coming regularly.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Good night, ma'am.
Good
Thank you,
night.
madam. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, madam. Thank you.
Night.
அந்த கிளாஸ்ல இருந்து
Thank
அவரு
you,
திடீர்னு
madam.
அவன் சொன்ன அவளுக்கு வேணாம்னு சொன்னாலும் என்ன சொன்னாலும் இது பெயிண்ட் உள்ள வந்திருக்கிறது.
நீ என்னை அடிச்சு துரத்தி போகணும் படிப்பு கேட்க வந்திருக்கேன் ஒரு நாள் இருக்கான்னு அங்காலயம் வந்து சத்தம் தான் இதனை காணாவனா தெரியுமா மட்டும் உனக்காவனா
இதுதான் சொல்ல போறேன். நீங்க போனிட்டு ஓடிக்கு போட்டு தெரிஞ்சு டிஸ்டர்பன்ஸ் ஆயிருந்து பேர் பண்ண கிளாஸ் நீ சமர் தானே குளிர் ரெண்டா அப்படி நான் விடுறேன் பேசாம இது சமர் தானே
வெளியில இது வெளியில விளையாடி கொண்டு
ஓடி போட்டு டிஸ்டர்பன்ஸ் ஆயிருக்குது.
அதுகளும் அவர் தான் தூக்கி பிடிச்சோண்டு சாப்பாடு வைக்கிறது
அது சின்ன அது அது எல்லாரும் பிரச்சனை முந்தைய தீரனை தான் தூக்கி பிடிச்சி சாப்பாடு தீர்த்து வாழ். இப்ப அது சின்ன அதை தூக்கி பிடிக்கணும். 2 கிழமை முடிந்தால கதைய இருக்கு அப்படி இப்ப ஒண்ணு சொல்லுது போனாலும் போனவன்
எனக்கு தெரிய இல்லையா எனக்கு தெரியாதான் தான் சொல்றாவா அது என்ன சொல்ற அதுல மூக்கு
சொந்த இருக்கிறேனுக்கு சொந்த கம்பசி ஒழுங்க நீ வாழ்ந்த ஒழுங்க பேர் உனக்கு தெரியாது.
இந்த ரூம் எந்த வீட்டு ரமணிங்க விட்டுக்கிட்டான்டா இல்லையே அப்பா ஞாயிறு எல்லாம் இல்லாம
நீ வாழ்ந்த ஒழுங்கு பேருமா தெரியாதா எனக்கு சொன்னது பார்த்து கொண்டு இருந்தான் நான்
எனக்கு நடிக்குது
பெண்ணாகமா அதுதான் சொன்னது எனக்கு. இப்ப குமார்
கிராஜுவேஷன் நடந்தது என்ன உங்களுக்கு கிராஜுவேஷன் தெரியாம என்ன செய்யணும் எனக்கு தெரியாது.
இப்படி வந்ததோட நாங்களும் வாழ்றோம் தானே பேர். இப்ப நான் பேசுனா நீ வாரலாம் புள்ளைய பள்ளி கொடுத்துக்க கூடாது ஒரு மற்ற பள்ளிக்கூடம் கொண்டு சேர்த்து விட்டுரு. அப்ப என்ன பிள்ளை எல்லாம் டீச்சர் தேவைக்குள்ள குறையுதுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. என்ன நாட்களில வாங்கணும்னு நினைச்சேன்னா வாங்கணும்
அரிசிமாவா இல்லையே எல்லாமே
எல்லாம் இருக்குது.
அப்ப என்ன மீன் கறி கறி புளி எல்லாம் இருக்கு.
இதுதான் தமிழ் கடை.
கடி எண்டன வீடு மாதிரி எல்லாம்
போட்டு கடை குடியிருதானே அப்ப எல்லாம் கண்ணாடி போட்டு கூட்டிடுறது.
நாங்க இப்போ மாதங்கி விட்ட போறோமா?
ஓ தம்பிக்கு நாளைக்கு ஸ்பீல் கொடுத்தானே அப்ப தம்பிய கொண்டு விட்டுட்டு என்ன தம்பி தம்பி நாளைக்கு ஸ்பீல் குரூப்புக்கு போகணும் ஸ்கூலுக்கு போகாட்டி படிக்க இயலாது தம்பிய கொண்டு விட்டுட்டு
என்ன சொல்லி கொண்டது இதெல்லாம் சொல்லி தந்ததல்லோ இதெல்லாம் சொல்லி நான் உனக்கு மைண்ட் பண்ணவே நீ இல்ல என்ன பேன் என்ன பேன் நான் இவனோட விளையாடி கொண்டு இருந்தேன்
நான் வந்து முன்னுக்கு இருக்க சொன்னேன்.
அதை நான் மெயின் பண்ணவே இல்லை
கதைக்கிறதே இல்ல பெருசா விட்டுறது அப்படியேன்னு நாங்க கதைக்கிறே இல்லை. இனி இல்லைன்னு எங்களுக்கு ஒரு விளங்கி கொள்றாக்கெல்லாம் மட்டும் கதைக்கிறது இவரோட எல்லாரோட
இது முந்தாத்து அந்த புள்ள பெத்து போட்டு எங்களுக்கு கதை சொல்லுது தெரியாதா இது இப்படி அங்கதான் அப்படி எனக்கு இது இருந்ததுன்னு சொல்லி அண்ணன் தெரியாம காட்டுது படிக்காத படமா கோயில் வாசல் சொல்லிச்சா யாரு யார கைய டீச்சர்
இருக்கிறாங்க
அண்ணன் தம்பியா
3ஆம் வகுப்பு படிச்ச அந்த வீட்டுக்கு
அண்ணன் தம்பியா
ஓ அண்ணன் சாதி பிடிச்சாங்க.
நல்ல சாதி எல்லாம் போயிட்டுதக்கா அங்கேயும் விட்டு நல்ல சாதி
இதோடைய 2 படம் எடுக்க போறேன்
கால்ட்டி படம் அங்கேயும் நல்ல சாதி
நினைக்குங்கள் இந்த மேல இது பார்த்தேன் என்ன மலையோட
அத போதும் இல்ல
வாங்கடிக்கிறாது வீட்டுக்காரன் வந்தா காலத்தை பொழுது கடத்தி விட்டுருவாங்க.
நீ
போவாங்க அங்காள பக்கம் அந்த ரோட்ல எடுத்தேன் இந்த நாங்கள்
வீடு செப்பரி வீடு எனக்கு
என்ன மேல கீழே வீடு மேல மேல் பக்கம் அந்த ரோட்டு அந்த அப்படி இந்த பள்ளம் இது தண்ணி வந்து என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க குச்சி வேற இதெல்லாம் இடிஞ்சு விழும் என்ன
உள்ளுக்குள்ள அங்காள பக்கம்
பின்னாடி இருக்குன்னு நாங்க மேலையெல்லாம் தீர்க்கத்தக்க எப்படி இருக்கு ஒரு இடத்தை விடுவி இல்ல உள்ள படம் எடுக்க போறேன் படம் எடுக்க போறேன் இதோட செல்ஃபியோட எடுக்கிறேன் தங்கி கட்டி கொண்டு வா இந்த மலையில எல்லாம் அப்படியே விடு எடுக்கணுமா நான் தங்கி இல்ல இல்ல செல்ஃபி செல்ஃபி புள்ள வராண்டி இல்ல இது இல்ல சார்ஜ் உம்மா செல்ஃபி புள்ள சார்ஜ் இல்ல இண்டியில உங்களை எடுக்கிட்டா இருக்கா சார்ஜ் இருக்கான இது ஐயா நீ படம் நீ இன்னைக்கு இவனையும் கொண்டு எடுக்க போறியா இவனையும் வச்சு எடுக்க போறியா அப்படி வருது எகுஸ்ட் டேர்மின் அவனையும் வச்சு எடுக்க போறியா உள்ளுக்கு நல்ல ஷேடு அதையும் கலட்டு அவ நான் கார்க இருக்க போறேன் நான் போகல அவன் அங்க இந்த கால் இந்த கையிலே ஓ சூப்பரா இருக்குல்ல அது நீ கேட்டுக்கிற அது நான் இந்த டக்கு அது அப்படி இருக்கு இது வந்து கட் பண்ணி பெருசாக்கி கட் பண்ணி கையில் இருக்கிறோம் கையில கொஞ்சம் இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் கீழே வச்சிருக்கணும் கையை கொஞ்சம் கீழே வச்சிருக்கணும் இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் கீழே வச்சோடு வச்சோடன் இப்ப கொஞ்சம் கீழே வச்சுட்டு போகணும் இந்த முட்டையும் சேர்த்தாடு
சரியா எடுத்துட்டியா வடிவா நீ எவ்வளவு எடுத்துட்டியா அதுல எல்லாம் செஞ்சு எல்லாம் எடுத்துட்டியா உங்க மூவம் எல்லாம் நமக்கு எடுத்த நீங்க இன்னும் சேர்த்து ஜாக்கெட்டை மட்டும் கொழி கொண்டு வருகிறோம் ஒளியை போட்டு வருகிறோம் தெரியலையாக்கா குளிரையில நல்லா சரியா எடுத்துட்டியா எல்லாம் ஓ சூப்பரா இருக்கு ஓகேயா ம் சீனரி சூப்பர் இந்த பாட்டு டெக்ஸ் ஆகுது உள்ளும் எனக்கு நல்ல இந்த கெல்கேக்கோட வெளிப்பாடு அது இல்லை இப்போ வேறு ஒன்று தான் இது என்ன அதே எப்படி சாப்பிடுறேன் நல்ல நல்ல முள்ளு சொக்கி மாதிரி சுத்தி வர இது வந்து ஸ்பெஷல் தாங்க மருந்த கொண்டே குடிப்போம் மருந்த கொண்டு குடிப்போம் மருந்து எடுத்து போடுவோம் விட்டமின் சி விட்டமின் டி எல்லாம் என்னக்கா சிங்கோட போட்டுடுவோம் என்ன வயிறு 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 அது முடிஞ்சதுன்னா சொல்லு வாங்கிட்டு வா ஐயோ யாரு இனி இதைத்தான் வாங்குவீங்க அம்மாக்கு எனக்கு ஃபியூஸ் ஆக வேண்டிய மெசி இருக்குது காலம் இல்லாம ஒரு காலம் எடுத்து போட்டாங்க ஒரு அம்மாவையும் மல்டிவிட்டியம் குடிக்கிற சொன்னவ எங்கேட்டுவா அந்த மல்டிவிட்டமின் கல்சியம் மதுகள் அவாவே போடுவா அக்கா நான் எங்கட மல்டிவிட்டமின் கொடுக்க மாதிரி எங்கத்தியான் எனக்கு போனா நீ இப்படி எனக்கு நான் வேண்டி கொடுக்க போனா போனோம் எனக்கு கவலை மாரி பிறகு மகன் கொண்டு வர வராம ஒரு முறையும் இப்ப நான் விட்டேன் ஓகே போடு போட வித்தோட போடு அது போட்டு எடுத்துக்கொண்டு வந்து இந்த புள்ளிய விடமலாங்காய் மாதிரி இருக்கு சூப்பர் வழியே இருக்கு இங்க இருந்து அதனாலேயே அங்க போய் நிறைய நிறைய வருத்தம் தெரியல அம்மா சீக்கிரம் குளிர்தான் நீங்க வேணும் நீங்க உங்களுக்கு குளிர் நாங்க குடிக்கிறோம் ஒரு வருஷம் வந்து எனக்கு அது கிரீனா போட்டுருக்கோம் ரெட் போட்டுருக்கோம் ஆக்சுவலி அது போட்டு அப்ப குளிர் குடிக்காம குளிர்தான் மாதங்கி பேசுவா குளிர் உங்களுக்கு வேணும்
எல்லாம் தெரியும். பேர் போட்டீங்களா? இது அப்ப அங்க இருந்து வந்தது வந்தீங்க படிக்கணுமே கொசு பொசு பொசுன்னு கதைக்குது கொண்டு மீது பாட்டு கதைக்கிறத பக்கம் நான் தான் தூக்கி போட்டது நான் தனி இவ்வளவு இருக்கும் படிப்பிக்கல அது என்ன அவர் தான் அவர் என்னட்ட படிச்சவன் அந்த பிடிப்புள்ள அபிராமிட வயது இப்ப என்னட்ட படிச்சுட்டு இப்ப அவரை இங்க இந்த பொறுப்பாளரா இருக்கிறேன் தாப்பன்றது இப்ப மகன் இருக்கிறேன் இப்ப நீ இப்ப இந்த ஆன்லைன்ல எல்லாம் அனுப்பணும் கொள்ளணும் அது இது மார்க்ஸ்கள் எல்லாம் அப்புறம் மகன் இப்ப எடுத்திருக்கிறேன் நாளைக்கு டைம் தள்ளி தள்ளி விட்டுறது அதான் இப்ப பார்த்தேன் இப்போ எல்லாம் பதிக்குதுகள் நீ போன முறை போனேன் டிசம்பருக்கு அம்மா சொன்னவாம் போய் அம்மா வேற சொந்தக்கார சொன்னேன் போய் ஒரு வருஷமா சொல்ல கூட நீ அனுப்புறாரு நான் இப்ப தனி அதிபதி போய் கொடுக்குறேன் நீங்க வச்சு படிக்கணுமே வந்து அவைக்கு தெரியுமா இங்க சுச்சுவேஷன் படிச்சா தான் வேலை செய்யலாம்னு சொல்லி இப்ப தான் நான் அதிபதிக்கு போயிட்டு என்னடா என்னடா குட் பாய் தேங்க்யூ என்று சொல்லி சொல்லுவேன் அது கவலைப்படும் இந்தியா உங்களோட சர்டிபிகேட் எக்ஸாம்ல இப்ப எல்லாமே எக்ஸாம் இங்க புடுங்கிறது பாருங்க ஆனா இங்க ஒரு கோபாலத்துக்கும் ரோஜி தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும் இப்ப சரியான கஷ்டம் இங்க வேலை எடுக்கிறதும் கஷ்டம் இங்க தண்ணி வரைக்கா சந்தோஷம் எது கொண்டு வேண்டி அதுதான் இப்ப அபிதா பேசுனது படிச்சிருந்தா இந்த மாதிரி இந்த வேறு வாங்கிட்டு ஃபாஸ்ட் அப்பெல்லாம் ஏதோ டிக்கெட் அவன் எடுத்துட்டு தான் பண்ணேன் என்ன பட்டி விட்டு வருது அதான் நான் பார்த்தேன் எனக்கு இன்னும் நேரம் சும்மா ஒரு நேரம் வந்து விட்டு இருக்கேன் என்ன செய்யலாம் தலைவெழுத்து உலகத்தை படிச்சு படிஞ்சு சும்மா இருக்கிறது அங்க ஒன்றுமே படிக்காம இங்க வந்து பெரிய எடுப்பு எடுக்கிறது தலை எழுத்துட்டேன் என்ன குப்பக்காரன் போட்டுக்கொண்டு வருவாங்க ஓ ஏதோ தான் வந்துட்டான் இங்க வந்து என்ன காட்டுற பாக்க மண்டி அளவுது நிறத்துக்குமா பாக்க வந்திருக்கிறீங்க வந்தா வெளியே இருக்கிறான் செமினார் உண்டு இங்கிலீஷ் கிளாஸஸ் நடக்குது வெளியே இருக்கிறீங்க நான் தெரிய மாதிரி கேட்டுக்கிட்டே இருந்தேன் என்ன லாங்குவேஜ் கேட்டு போ ஒன்னும் தெரியாத புதிதான் இருக்கிறான் நான் பேச கேட்டுக்கொண்டே இருந்தேன் ஏன் வந்து வெளியே இருக்கிறீர்கள் அங்க வந்துட்டு ரெண்டு பார்த்துட்டு பிறகு ஒரு ஹவுஸ் இருக்கா என்ன கேட்டாலும் நமக்கு கிளாஸ் நடக்குது செமினார் நடக்குது வாங்க கேட்டா டீச்சர் என்ன வெளியில வந்தது உள்ளுக்கு வச்சிருங்க டீச்சருங்க நமக்கு செமினார் அப்ப நான் வெளியில போயிட்டு கேட்டு மாட்டோம் சரி அதோட விளங்கும் தானே முடியும் சுத்தியும் அவற்றை மகள் மாதிரி கிடக்கு அது கவலைப்படும் இங்க வந்து டீச்சர் நாங்க ஓடிடணும் போல நடக்குது ஒரு சொந்த காலத்துலயுமே இல்லை அவற்றியாலுமே அவர் அம்மா அப்பா தங்கச்சி இதை வச்சு கொண்டாது டொச்சுங்கிறதுக்கு அதனாக்க அவர்கிட்ட ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் யாருக்கு என் பர்த்டே பள்ளிக்கு சொன்னாவே எனக்கு நெஞ்சு நாட்டுக்குமானும் உங்க லாண்ட வச்சாளா நான் சிரிச்சு கொண்டு பேசாம இருக்கும் அவன் இங்க படிச்சு இங்க இது அடிக்கல அவன் ஐடி இன்ஜினியர் அவன் சரியான கட்டிக்காரன், பயங்கர கட்டிக்காரன். ஐடி இன்ஜினியர்
வழி பண்ணிடுது.
எனக்கு பர்த்டேன்னு சொல்லனாலே எனக்கு நெஞ்சு பக்கம் அடிக்கும் டீச்சர்னு சொல்லி.
அது இங்கிலீஷியாவது படிச்சுட்டு வந்திருக்கலாம் பாவம்.
நீ கதைக்கிற இங்கிலீஷ் எனக்கு விளங்குறமே, அப்படி இங்கிலீஷ் எனக்கு விளங்காது.
அது அப்படித்தான் இங்கிலீஷ் கிடைக்கும். இங்கிலீஷ் தான் அப்படி கிடைக்கிறது. பழமையா இங்கிலீஷ் கிடைக்கிறது.
கதைக்கிறது எனக்கு சுக்கரே விடாது. நாக்குக்குள்ள கதை பழம்.
நாங்க டொச்சும் அப்படித்தானே அக்கா, பேஸ் வந்து டொச். அக்கா
என்ன சாப்பிடுறது?
மம்மம்மா கேட்டீங்களா? யாரோடைய பின்னால வாங்கினது ஜம்போ என்னக்கா கடையா?
ஜும்பு
ஜம்போ ஜம்போ அங்க ஜா
ஜும்பு. ஓ, இது கடை எல்லாம் இருக்கு. சாப்பாடு சாமான தவிர அந்த ஆணிகள் வீணிகள் அதுகள் இது முட்டைகள் மட்டைகள் எல்லாம் இருக்கு. பூவாசுகள் பூக்கண்டுகள் தான்.
காசை மதிப்பு குறைச்சு விட்டாங்க. நாங்க முட்டை ஜம்போ
இங்க இந்த மேசன் வேலை கச்சன் வேலை செய்ய மாதிரி வீடு வச்சு செப்பரேட்டா தாங்க எல்லாம் கட்டி கட்டி போட்டு எல்லா சாமானும் வாங்கலாம் தானே. வடிவா இது கெல்லரை போய் பார்க்கணும். என்ன வேடி எல்லாம் அடிச்சு சொல்லி வட்டியா வச்சிருக்கோம். எங்களை விட வேற என்ன குழந்தை வட்டியோ அட்டிச்சு அட்டிக்கு 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 வட்டி அட்டிச்சு
எந்த வீட்டை தானியம் கட்டி அங்க நான் படிச்சு நான் இஞ்ச வீடு இருக்கேன்.
அங்க மரே அம்மா எல்லா சாமானும் கிடைக்கும்படி என்ன உங்களுக்கு ஒரு சாமான் என்ன செய்யறது
அவங்களுக்கு மற்றது
எல்லா சாமானும் எல்லாம் தெரியும்
தானே எல்லாம் சந்தோஷம் சொல்லுவாங்க.
அதுதான் சூப்பரா வச்சிருப்பாங்க.
எல்லாம் த்ரெட் அடிக்கிறதானே அக்கா, அங்க மாட்ட பக்க பட்ட 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 அடிக்கிறது த்ரெட் அடிக்கிறதானே. இன்னைக்கு ஒரு கதை போட்டுறான்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா
இன்றைக்கு ஒன்றுமே பாக்கல டெலிஃபோன்.
இல்ல இன்றைக்கு போட்ட கதை இல்ல. தங்கம் வந்து அடி அடின்னு அடிக்க பேசாம சத்தம் போடாம இருக்கும். இரும்பு போட்டு அடி அடிக்க கோட கோட சத்தம் கேட்கும். தங்கம் கேட்கும். இன்னைக்கு இவன் இந்த அடி அடிக்கிறான் இரும்பான ஒரு சுத்தமே போடல. நீ மட்டும் நீ சும்மா பக்கட்டாக்கு பட்டாக்குன்னு சத்தம் கேட்க போடுறான். உனக்கு அவன் வேறொருத்தன் அடிக்கிறான், நீ பேசாம தாங்கி கொண்டு இருக்க. எனக்கு எந்தவனி என்ன போட்டு போட்டு கொண்டு கொடுத்தா புரியடா. நான்
இல்ல இங்க துப்புங்க. ஐஸ்கிரீம் வேணுமா வேணாமா? அப்ப இதுல துப்பு. எடுத்து போடுறாங்க.
இதுக்குள்ள துப்புங்க. அடுத்து தெரியல நீ போட்டு கொட்டாங்க மடிச்சு கொடுத்தாங்க. வழியா மடிச்சுட்டாங்க.
உனக்கு பண்டு ஐஸ்கிரீம் என்ன
ஏப்ரல் என்ன
ஸ்ட்ராபெரி கரமல் கரமல் டேஸ்ட். கரமை விட்டு சாப்பிட்டு இருக்கிறியா? கரமை விட்டு சாப்பிட்டு உணவுடன் மூடிக்கொண்டு அம்மா கவிதை விட்டது விடிய விரும்புகின்றன என்ன இங்கே அங்க 161 64 168 இங்கிலீஷ் படிச்சா போல எனவே இங்கிலீஷ் நீங்க படிச்சா போல நானும் சாமான பார்த்து நான் சொல்லி கொடுக்குறேன் சொல்றான் चौकी है करमल बना मैं चौकी चौकी दाने एक पेड़ है सही है Flexi, dreimal Sunday. Eine mit Karamell, eine mit Choki, eine mit Erdbeer. Ja. Eine Brombus. Eine Brombus. அது ரெண்டு பேட்டு போட்டு இதை வந்து வெங்காயம் போட்டு வெப்பாச்சு இதில் வந்து Tante Simon. Sudah sebenarnya masalah pulang itu sudah belum benar masalah. Siapa mata siapa. Ini அது தான் போடாத எடுக்கட்டா ஃபுல்லா மெல்ல மாத்திரம் போட்டு தம்பி கொட்டாம சாப்பிடணுமா ஐஸ்கிரீம் சாப்பிடுறேன் சாப்பிடுறேன் Conseguiva pisare mer serviette. Ja, vi kan skynda. Danke, Timo. இல்ல இதுல கார்கேன் சாப்பிடுவோம். ஓகே அவன் இதே பேரை வச்சு பேர் பேர் தர பேர் தரமல் நைஸ். Yummy, yummy. எனக்கு இதுதான் விருப்பம். எல்லா ஐஸ்கிரீமும் விட. டைம் விளையாட்டு சின்னங்க ஓடி போட்டு முடிய நான் சாப்பிட்டு இருப்போம். இப்ப ஸ்கூல் சமைக்குங்க ஐஸ்கிரீம் வாங்கிட்டு மரக்கரண்டி வாங்கி இந்த பிளாஸ்டிக் பாய்க்க கூட மற்ற yummy. ஒரு தமிழாலும் காரோன்னு காணவே இல்லை ஒரு தமிழ் லேடியும் இங்க எல்லாம் வந்து ஒரு அது நிக்கபடியும் தமிழ் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் இதுல பேசுற கூடுதல் கணக்கு ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் இதுல கூடுதல் பேசுது. எம்பிள்ள காட்சினா காரோன்னு தான் பார்த்தேன். ஒரு தமிழ் ஆகலாத காரோன்னு தான் காணும். நான் இருக்கிறேன் அங்கே இருக்கிறேன் அந்த நினைச்சு பார்த்தேன். நினைச்சு பார்த்தேன் நான் கொழும்பு டெலிகாம்ல இன்ஜினியர் வைஃப் வந்து டாக்டர் அதாவது ஸ்கின் டாக்டர். மூன்று பிள்ளைகளையும் மழை செஞ்சு வாங்க பார்த்தேன். பண்ண முடியாது. பேப்பர் பிள்ளையா குட்டிங்களோட சீக்கிரம் அவங்க படிக்க முடியாது குட்டிடுவோம். நாங்க வயல் அங்க இருந்தா ஒரு உள்ளிய பத்தி வச்சு அந்த வளர்த்து விட்டுருவா என்ன. அங்க ஓய்வு இருந்து இப்பதான் ஒரு தமிழ் பிள்ளை போகுது. தமிழ் பிள்ளை நாங்க வெட்டுற கேட்க இந்த சொக்கி மேக்கில இருக்கணும் ஒரு லேயர்னு இது சும்மா ஊத்தி விடுறதுல சொக்கு இதா. ம். இந்த காலையில போய் சாப்பிடும். உச்சி வேலை இருக்கட்டும். பட வச்சா வச்சானே உங்களுக்கு பேப்பரா வேணுமா அப்படி வேணுமா ஒண்ணுங்க Where's mama? இவ்வளவு வச்சிருக்கிறீங்க தீத்திவிடவா அவளுக்கு நீங்களும் சாப்பிடுவீங்களா வீட்டை போகும்போது குளிக்க போடுமா குளிக்கிறியா கண்டி போடுறவா ஊத்துவீங்க அதுல உனக்கு கிடைக்கும் அள்ளி சாப்பிடும் இந்த கண்ட போன அப்புறம் தப்பு வச்சு வேணும் அதை மூடி தீத்திவிடவாண்ணா ஊத்தாம குளிக்க போடுமா காருக்கு ஊத்துற இல்ல இந்த கணக்கு பேப்பர் இந்த கரையில இருக்கு பேப்பரா நிறைய அள்ளு நிறைய அள்ளு அள்ளு அப்படி அள்ளி போய் வாய்க்க இல்ல ஊத்தாது போய் வாய்க்க இப்படி ஊத்தினாடி வா வீட்டை விட அவள் விட மாட்டா வீட்டை விட குடிச்சு முடிக்கணுமா கண்டு கூட ஃபேக்டரியோட வேலை செய்யறோம்னு நினைக்கிறேன். அதுக்காக நேரம் போகக்கூடாது. அதுக்காக நேரம் போகக்கூடாது. ஜோக்கி சாப்பிட ஜோக்கியா போட்டுருக்கேன் உருக்கி போ. என்னது புளிப்பு கிளிப்பா ஏதோ கேக் இருக்கு மனுஷன், அது என்ன கேக் அடி ஷார்ட்ஸ் வாழ்றதா அன்னைக்கு அவைய விட்ட சாப்பிட்டதா? அந்த கேக் அந்த யா 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 அதான் கேட்டேன். அதான் முதல்ல சாப்பிடுறது. நான் மருத்துவ காலேஜ் போறேன். நான் மிக்க செய்யறேன் பீஸ் பீஸாவே வட்டி வட்டியா இது மேல கோகனட் ரெண்டு மூணு சாமான் சாப்பிட்டதெல்லாம் திருப்பி சாப்பிடாத மாதிரி ஐஸ்கிரீம் கேக் வந்துருக்கமான்னு சொல்லி அப்ப செய்வா போயிட்டு வந்துட்டு கொடுத்தாங்க. 5,500 சின்ன கைதாவதா அப்ப அது காட்டும் 5,500 5,500 எப்படி அது ஹைவே நான் இதுக்குள்ள போகணும். அதுல போனா பிளாக் போனா அப்படின்னு அதேங்கிற விட்டு அளவு போகும். ஹைவேல போனேன். ஹைவேல இல்ல எல்லாத்தையும் எங்களை விட்டடியால போய் நிக்குது காரங்க வராங்க. அதேங்கிற விட்டடியால சும்மா நோவல் விட்டால போய் சிக்கல் போய் போகணும். கண்டா ஹலோ கம்பியார ஓ வச்சு மணிக்கு 12 மணிக்கு தான் நாங்க கண்டு பிரச்சனை வேணுமா வேணுமாண்டதுல ஊத்தாம கொடுக்க
ஜெனிய பார்க்க பார்க்க சரி பார்க்க action முடிஞ்சா ஜெனியா பிள்ளை மெல்லிசுவா என்னங்க இப்ப வாக்கு இந்த வாயும் ஒரு கடை இதுல ஊத்தாங்க எடுத்து சாப்பிடுங்க இதுல ஊத்து ரொம்ப எடுத்து கரண்டியா எடுத்து சாப்பிடுங்க ஆஹ் நாளை மட்டும் 3 தடவை புக் பண்ணிக்கிறேன் அவளை இப்ப பட்டியல எல்லாம் தெரியாம தெரியாம அவன மக்கா வாட்ஸ்அப்ல கேட்க பொம்புடைய சொல்லிட்டேன்னா ஐடி போட்டு காமிச்சு நம்பி போகணும் அவன் அப்படி இல்லையா கடிக்காட்டி வந்தாலும் கொஞ்சம் அந்த புத்திய நடக்குங்களை போகக்கூடாது கொள்ளக்கூடாது வரக்கூடாது முந்தி படிக்காத முப்பது இருந்தாலும் படி ஒருத்தன் வாயால் பணம் போங்களா இல்லதானே தாங்க அவனுக்கு வைக்கிற மாதிரி போங்க அவன் பரோட்டி அடிப்படை அந்த ஒருத்தன் மடக்கி பிடிச்சாலே இன்னத்த கிராண்டி இருக்கு அவளே தேடி போவாள் அத்தை தண்ணி இருக்கிறவள் அவளுக்கு ஒரு கலைக்க கொள்ள உதவிதானே அவளே தேடி போவாள் பொட்டியால் தானே இப்ப பொடியாங்களுடைய சாமி இருப்பாங்க பொட்டியல் தான் தேடி உலகத்தை பிரட்டி விடுறாங்க கொத்தி பிரட்டி விடுறாங்க கொத்தி மண் கொத்தி பிரட்டி சும்மா இருக்கிறது அடிய மேலே மேல அடிய பிரிக்கி சும்மா இருக்கிறது
என்ன நினைக்கிறியா? யாழினி அபிதான் கேட்டு சும்மா சொல்லுங்க எனக்கு முன்ன. அப்பதான் திருச்சி அதான் நாளைக்கு கிழமை இல்ல கட்டுவான் நோக்கத்துல இருந்தவளம்மா தெரியுது ஒரு அளவுக்கு பாக்கு இவ்வளவு கழுவுறது வாடு கொண்டு வைராக்கியத்துல இருந்தவளம் அந்த கொரோனா வந்தோன்னா அவ்வளவு கத்திய கருதி வந்தது 9 அடி அப்ப அவள் அங்காள ஓய்வு தட்டை தனியா ஆயிடுச்சு அதுவும் அவளுக்கு தான் தெரியும் தூரத்துல தெரியாது எதான் தெரியும் கட்டி போனேன் தண்ணி இருந்ததெல்லாம் மலைக்கு அவள் மலைக்கு இருந்தாள் சாப்பிட முடியா எடுத்து செய்யலாம் சாப்பிட்டீங்களா சாப்பிடும் சாப்பிடும் சென்னையில அந்த வெச்ச ஒத்துக்கு வந்துட்டாக்கா இடங்கள் வெள்ளியாக புறத்த முட்டியிருந்தா அதுவும் கருப்பு அந்த சூப்பர் அப்பவே தெரிய மாட்டேன் அந்த நேரம் அந்த வந்த அதை சொல்றேன் பண்றேன் இது கொண்டே கொண்டே நானே மருந்து ஓடும் நானும் கொண்டே நம்மளும் கீழே கொடுத்து வாங்கிட்டு ரெண்டு பழங்களுக்கு படியா இப்போ நீங்க சார்ஜ் நான் பண்ணி எடுத்து நான் தெரிவிக்கிறேன் போட்டு அது சாப்பிங்க இருக்கு இன்னும் அக்கா இருக்கலாம் சார்ஜ் இருக்குல்ல அதான் வச்சு கிடையாது வச்சிய கட்டி கட்டி தொங்க விடுவான் மான் பண்டி மாடு யாடு சரி இதுல போடுங்கடி சாச்ச சரி விட 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 இதுல போடு இதுல போடு சாப்பிடுற எத்தனை மணியா அங்க 11:30 போய் 10:30 இதுக்கு என்ன கிழமைக்கா ம்? போ. நாளைக்கு ஸ்பீல் குரூப்புக்கு போங்க என்ன ஆ? ஈவன் சொல்றாரா சொல்லும் நாளைக்கு ஸ்பீல் குரூப் இருக்குது அக்கா நான் கொண்டு ரிவ்யூ டேட்டா அக்கா இது இதே போடியா ஹேண்ட் பிரேக் ஆ ஓ நாளைக்கு வா நாளைக்கு கிச்சனா இருப்பாடா வீட்டு கடைசியிலே போக மாட்டேன் சரி என்ன சொல்ல படிச்சு அண்ணா புத்தி Ciao, ciao, ciao. Tidak kali nanti. Oke, அப்படியே தான் வந்து கொடுத்துருவாங்க வெட்டி அம்மா இது அங்க படிச்சுட்டாரு நான் கொண்டு கொடுத்துக்கிட்டு நீங்க எல்லாம் நீங்க கேட்கலாம் இது அது வந்து அப்படித்தான் கவனிக்கிறேன் என்ன மாதிரி முந்தி என்ன அப்படி சொல்றாள் அம்மா போறீங்களா கேட்பாள் பிசி அது அழுது கொண்டிருக்கும் அது விதவிதம் சமையல் செய்யணும் இப்ப 5 மணி தான் வேலை முடிச்சிருப்பாள் 6 மணிக்கு மனுஷன் வருது சமையல் செய்யணும் அடுப்புல ஹரிய வஜோடு திறந்திருப்பாள் நான் யோசிச்சேன் சனிக்கிழமை நான் போகாம இப்ப அன்றைக்கு நாங்க கூரை சாரி போய் பார்த்து நாங்கதான் எனக்கு கூரை தான் வேற ஒன்றும் பார்க்க தேவை எனக்கு அவசியம் இல்லை அவையதான் மாளவிலே நாம் செய்கிறது மற்ற சாரிலாவே என்னை பார்க்க போறது அப்ப நான் போகாம நாளைக்கு ஏதாவது பலகாரம் வச்சா சனிக்கிழமை இங்க போகலாம் அப்படி யோசிச்சு நான் போயிட்டு வடை ஏதாவது சுட்டு சாம்பார் அடிச்சு கொண்டு போனா ரசோ விட்ட போறோம் எல்லாம் சனிக்கிழமை ஓ அப்ப கொண்டு போகலாம் எல்லாம் கேசரி 2 கேக் மடிச்சு வடையும் சம்பலும் மடிச்சா கொண்டு பின்னேரம் கொண்டு போகலாம் எல்லாம் யோசிச்சு நான் பார்க்கட்டேன் அவ இல்லையம்மா வாங்கம்மான்னு சொன்னா போகணும் மாலை மாலை இதை எடுத்துட்டு சொல்லி நீ அடிப்படை என்னதுக்கு நான் மாப்பிள்ளைக்கு ஒரு 4 சோடி மாலை எடுக்கணும் இல்ல 2 சோடி அப்பள மாப்பிள்ளை போட்டு கொண்டு போறது மாத்து மாலை தான் அது நச்சுரல் ஃபிளவர்ஸ் இல்லையாக்கா நச்சுரல் ஃபிளவர்ஸ் தான் நல்லா அந்த மாலை சிட்டிங் கார்டு தான் ஆரம்பத்துல இதுல இருந்து இருக்கு இப்ப சிலர்லயே வந்துட்டு ஆரம்பத்துல செல் மாதிரி தாரம் எல்லாம் வச்சு அடிச்சிருக்கீங்க வீடுகள் இப்ப சீமந்திலேயே காட்டிட்டு மாடு எல்லாம் சீமந்தாலேயே போக மாட்டாங்க அஞ்சு மணி கிளாஸ் 5 மணிக்கு முடிச்சு தீவிர கொண்டு விட்டினா போவா அப்படியா ஓ கண்டிப்பா நாங்க லேட்டா போய் கட்டுவோமே சாப்பாட்டுக்கு இல்ல நாங்க டீ கடையில சாப்பிடுவோம் அந்த கோழிக்கு போயிட்டு ஒட்டிக்க வச்சுக்கணும் மாதிரி பானுக்குள்ள மொத்த பான் விருப்பம் என்ன சாப்பிடு பானுக்கு வச்சு சோசஸ் எல்லாத்துக்கும் எடுத்து ஓ எடுத்து அவியில இத நம்பருக்கு அடிச்சுட்டுதான் மெசேஜ் போட்டிருக்கேன் வெப்சைட்டுக்கு இப்போ ஒழிப்பு எடுக்கிறது கூட மறந்து போட்டதை வாட்சி போட்டு பேசு இதை காட்டு